Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the News 12 FastCast. I'm Nick Proto. 2 Israeli embassy employees are dead. Authorities say they were shot and killed as they left the Capitol Jewish Museum in D.C. The embassy identified them this morning as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. A suspect is in custody. Authorities say he was seen pacing outside the museum before he approached the couple and 2 others. They say he pulled out a handgun, shot towards the group, and ran inside. Museum security arrested him there. They say while he was in custody, he was yelling "Free Palestine." 2 people in law enforcement claim this appears to be a targeted attack. The Israeli ambassador to the U.S. says the couple was just about to be engaged.
It's a young couple about to be engaged. The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem. They were a beautiful couple who came to enjoy an evening in Washington's Cultural Center.
Officers say the shooting happened just after 9 o'clock last night. Leaders involved in the investigation say President Donald Trump has been notified. While the motive hasn't been confirmed yet, President Trump took to Truth Social and wrote in part, quote, "These horrible D.C. killings based obviously on anti-Semitism must end now." He also shared his condolences to the victims' families. Progress seemed to be made at last night's meeting to go over the downtown construction project. There, community members and business owners voiced their concerns about reduced parking that would come with the project. Business owners looked for a compromise. To them, losing parking could mean losing business, and they think plans to remove some spots for a bike lane should be scrapped. City leaders heard their concerns but warned them some spots will be lost regardless, saying many spots are just too narrow and need to be adjusted. Officials also say parking will continue to be a problem until the city is able to manage it.
If we limited how long you could be there, or if there was metered parking, it encourages people to come down and utilize the businesses, but at the same time, they're not just going to take up the space for hours and hours and hours.
Ussery said after working with the engineer, they were able to add another 170 to 180 parking spaces onto the planned 400, but he hopes communication with community members and businesses will improve. If you weren't able to make that meeting and you want to share your concerns, there is another one coming up 1 week from today, the 29th, from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Fort Discovery on the Riverwalk. We have more details on a shooting in Richmond County that left 1 person dead last night. Richmond County officials say 26-year-old Jaquavius Watkins was shot and later died after being taken to the hospital. Deputies say that happened on Lumpkin Road. We're still working to learn if deputies named a suspect or suspects, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more information. A 23-year-old is under arrest in connection to a deadly hit-and-run that killed a cyclist earlier this week on Peach Orchard Road. Kiana Grady is charged with first-degree homicide by vehicle, leaving the scene of an accident with a death and following too closely. Officials say on Monday, 42-year-old Jolene Davis was riding an electric bike on Peach Orchard Road at Willis Foreman Road. That's when deputies say Grady hit the back of it and drove away. Davis was pronounced dead at the scene that morning. Several people are missing in our region. In Allendale County, deputies are looking for this 47-year-old man. Deputies say Warren Umans Jr. was last seen Sunday wearing a white T-shirt, blue cargo pants, black shoes, and an Army fatigue do-rag. If you have any information on where he may be, call the Allendale County Sheriff's Office. And there are 4 people missing in Augusta, all separate cases. Richmond County deputies are searching for this missing teen, Jorge Lopez Jr., who was last seen yesterday in his home on Northwood Court. He was wearing a white shirt, gray shorts, and black Crocs. Here are the other cases in Richmond County. Carissa Cross was last seen on 15th Street when she was released from Wellstar MCG on Saturday. They're not sure what she was wearing or where she was going. They're also looking for Van Marie McNair, who they say ran away. He was last seen at a convenience store on Rozier Road last Friday in a blue shirt and colored joggers. Then another runaway, 17-year-old Elijah Scott. Deputies say he was last seen Monday, leaving his home in Hepzibah. They say he had on a white shirt, gray sweatpants, and yellow Crocs. If you know where any of these people are, call the Sheriff's Office. We're back. We're on your side this morning with a safety alert from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office about sophisticated phone scams. Officials say the scammers are targeting elderly people with calls convincing them a loved one needs help. And scammers say the only way to help them is by sending money. Officials say these scammers will use public records like arrest reports or court information to trick people into thinking a loved one is facing legal trouble. They add scammers can manipulate the caller ID to make it appear a legitimate government agency is calling. Victims have lost thousands of dollars after being told to send money. If you or a loved one has gotten a suspicious call or fallen victim to one of these scams, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. If you're in need of housing assistance from damages caused by Hurricane Helene, time is running out to get help from the state. The Housing Emergency Assistance and Recovery Through Sheltering Program, or HARTS, will close its applications next month. The HARTS program gives people in need temporary shelter options like hotels, motels, trailers, and RVs. The program currently serves 61 counties in the state. No new applications will be accepted past 11:59 p.m. on June 15th. After that, the program will continue to help anyone approved through September. Here's what you need to qualify. Be registered with FEMA or disaster assistance, live in one of the 61 federally declared counties, have a primary residence that was damaged or destroyed, and agreed to comply with all program rules and requirements. If you fit these requirements, officials urge you to apply as soon as possible. We have a link to that website on our WRDW app, as well as our website, WRDW.com. Graduation season is here, and so far we know about seniors graduating in Columbia County. Greenbrier High has their ceremony at 9 o'clock this morning. Harlem's at 6:30 tonight. Both will be at Evans Town Center Park. Just a reminder, Parks and Rec is closing a parking lot and the dog park because of the ceremonies. They'll reopen on Saturday. Hopefully the grads have some good weather for that. We'll send it over to Tim Strong with a check at your weather this morning.
It really will be nice. The only thing that may have to battle is the afternoon graduation ceremonies or anything outdoors is the strong winds that will be back. Some of those kids that were graduating out there yesterday experienced a bit of a breezy finish yesterday, looking at winds that could be gusting between 30, almost 40 this afternoon. The lake wind advisory goes into effect at 2 p.m. and will be allowed to expire out to 8 o'clock. At least that's the way the advisory looks right now. Winds haven't been much of an issue at all this morning. A light breeze between 3 and 5 to begin. Obviously that will change as we go through the rest of today. A gorgeous sunrise from early this morning. Still mostly sunny skies, and temperatures have been cooling down. We had the front move through yesterday. Now we're starting to notice the difference in drier air, not as humid, and eventually the cool down as far as high temperatures go. That will hit us more into Friday and Saturday. But we've had cool temperatures anywhere between 55 to 60 degrees for this morning's bottoming out very nicely here. Heading into the 80s, we're going to do that just around average for today. Looking at highs that will be right on track here. 88, 89 degrees, possibly a 90. I think most likely we're not going to see anybody at 90 today. Coming ahead, though, small chance tomorrow morning. There could be an isolated shower in the northern counties. Mornings will continue to stay cool, mid-50s, low 60s into the weekend. We see that drop into 83 on Saturday, but right back around average coming out of that Memorial Day weekend into Memorial Day, which will have a better chance for showers and storms on Monday and Tuesday. Have a great day.